I got my IEC visa approved in 17 days, and this video is all about how I did that. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've been gone a while. As you may know, if you follow me, we moved from the UK to the Netherlands at the beginning of April, and next month we are going to be living in Canada, and I cannot wait. I thought this would be a great time for me to share my experience with the IEC visa, specifically the working holiday visa, and how I managed to get it sorted in 17 days. And at the end, I've got some resources that will hopefully help you be able to get it done just as fast. But anyway, let's dive right into it. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button. I've got plenty more videos planned out, and yeah, I can't wait to take you along on our full journey. Okay, so to kick things off, I've got my phone here, which I'll be looking at just to make sure I don't miss anything. The IEC visa, what is it? I've done a full-on video that I'm going to link here, and basically this breaks down everything about what the IEC visa is, what's the eligibility, all those things. Timestamp, so don't worry, you can just skip to the IEC part. Just a quick summary. The IEC visa is a youth mobility program, so it's an agreement between Canada and multiple other countries, one of them being the UK, which is where I'm from. You can get a 2-year working holiday visa, and you can choose to work for the full 2 years, to work a little bit, holiday a little bit, or to just holiday and work when you need. That's basically what it is. There are certain eligibility criteria, which I go into deeper in the other videos, so I highly recommend watching the linked video below. I did want to touch on the eligibility specifically for the UK. So the UK, it's 18 to 30, a 2-year working holiday visa. But if you have aged out from 31 to 35, you can use something called our recognized organization, or as an RO, which I will refer to it in the rest of this video. I just turned 32, so I aged out anyway last year, so I had to use an RO for my application. I've got a whole video coming with my whole experience with using an RO for anybody who has aged out like me, or is maybe not from a partner country, or is participating for their second time. So the one I chose was Swap. What they basically do is they assist you with the process. So you can use an RO even if you're still eligible. For somebody who is maybe, if you're nervous, maybe if you're nervous about doing the whole visa process, just be careful, use the right RO, because I've seen some other people have used other ones and got virtually no support, which is not fair because you actually pay quite a lot to be part of it. As you may know, I'm actually going to Canada under the spousal sponsorship because my husband is Canadian. Initially the plan was that we did the outlined application. Our plan was to give ourselves 6 months because we are seeing so many applications processed within those 6 months, but it was going to be a bit of a risk. But we didn't send our application till mid-Feb, and we thought, okay, we're moving in end of June. That doesn't really give us enough time, so we thought having IEC visa would be a great backup plan. So I'm self-employed. Our plan was for me to be able to have the ability to work. And the timeline for our spousal sponsorship at this moment is 16 months. We're very hopeful. We see lots of applications processing a lot faster, but when we started to think about the possibility if our application took that long, I would be out of work and unable to work for that whole time. So we weighed up the costs and we thought £800, which is, I paid about £824, it was worth it to pay the RO so that I could get my IEC visa. And that means that we could move to Canada anytime. I could start working while we wait for our application to process. The funny thing is, Canada have just released that they are giving open work permits to outland sponsorships, which we are, before the application is done. But I don't know when that will come into place. So I stand by my decision, and I absolutely have loved being in an RO with Swap because they are so supportive with everything that they have. We're part of a chat, they have a newsletter. I have already now a Canadian address through them that I can use for my resume and things like that, so it's been worth it. By the way, I'm in the Netherlands. I'm at my mother-in-law's house and her husband, so this is why the background. Okay, now let's dive into the part which you're all waiting for, which is the timeline. How the heck did I manage to do it in 17 days? So how did it all unfold? We were doing our spousal sponsorship application, and I had almost done all the paperwork in November, but there were so many more things that we needed to get sorted. Things like our passports, things like, I can't remember, but there was all this paperwork that still had to come to us. So something that I had planned to send off December, we still mid-Jan had not sent off our application, just because we were still gathering the documents and going through everything. And at the time, the whole system changed as well. So everything I had filled out, I had to redo in the portal, because before it wasn't like that. At that point, my husband and I then had the conversation about me being able to work when we moved to Canada. We thought, okay, you know what? what we're going to do is we're going to look into this RO business. So we looked at ROs, and actually ROs open at the end of the year. So everything had been done, all the places had been given away, and there was a wait list. So I contacted both Bunak and Swap. I'll tell you the exact date. On the 26th, I contacted both Bunak and Swap. Bunak got back to me and they said, hey, it's really unlikely. We'll add you to the wait list, but basically it's unlikely you're going to get a place. Swap was like, we'll add you to the wait list. We're going to open it up, I think in a couple of weeks to start going through the process. But you are kind of late, so the chances are low. But it just seemed more positive with Swap that there could be a chance for me to be invited. So I wasn't super hopeful, but my husband and I had kind of conversation. We were just like, you know what? If this is the path God wants us to take, it will open up. If it's not, it won't. And everything will be fine in the end. So our whole thing was just, sorry, my daughter's in the background. So our whole thing was just like, let's just put the name on the wait list. It's free and we'll just see what happens. So mid-Feb, we sent off our spousal sponsorship application. I had finally gathered everything. We paid the fees and that was off. Then March 10th, woke up to some exciting news from SWAP saying, hey, you have been offered a place on the program. So I was so excited. So I immediately went to check on my PR tracker, which is our spousal sponsorship one, and there was no updates. And they had only sent an automated email to say that they had received our application, but we hadn't received our AOR, which is our acknowledgement of receipt, which is basically when a human goes through the application and confirms it's complete. So when you don't receive that, at any time they could send it back to you, and then you have to find all the things, and then your time when you send it back starts from there. So we kind of were like, we've not received an AOR, so has our application even been looked up? There's no updates, nothing. So we kind of prayed about it and we thought, okay, we're going to go for it. We're just going to take the place with Swap. It was an extra cost, but like I mentioned with the reasons before, it works out. That is the choice we thought was best for us as a family. The next day I paid the fees. They were £124.08. That only includes the RO fee. Basically, it's, for me, kind of crazy. I feel that it's super expensive. At the time, I was like, this is a lot of money just to get a letter. But the support I've received from Swap is so worth it. So you pay the £824 and basically they say they're going to support you through the IEC process, and they're going to also support you for the full 2 years that you're out in Canada. And I think if you're 18 to 30, or at least like 18 to 20s, early 20s, that's really helpful because you're still quite young, you're still figuring things out. It's kind of like a safe place. I've really appreciated all the things that Swap has for us. I paid the fees, and then on March 14th, I created my profile on the IEC portal. So just a quick rundown. On the 10th, I'll just read it here. On the 10th, I got the invitation from Swap. On the 11th, I paid the fee. On the 14th, I created my profile and went into the pool. And then I sent that to Swap to confirm that I'm in the pool and waiting. On the 15th, they sent me my nomination letter, which I uploaded. And on the 16th, I received my ITA. And then 24 hours after receiving my ITA, I received my biometrics instructions letter. So that was 17th. The 28th, I had my biometrics, and the 27th, I had my POE. So I am so thankful for that. So before we wrap up, I've got a few tips and how I feel that you could make your process smoother. Number one, when you're in the pool, gather all your documents. I've linked a resource here that lists out all the types of documents that you need. It's all on the website, but I've got it on one page. It's a free resource just for you to be able to check off and take up, but just double check for whichever country you're coming from if you need any extra document. So things to make it smoother: medicals. Medicals can delay your process. It's a bit of a catch-22. If you think you don't want to work in healthcare or with kids, I would just forego medicals. It's first of all really expensive. It costs us almost around £300 for us to do the medicals, and you just have to do that with your spousal sponsorship. But if you're not planning to work with kids or in healthcare, I would not get my medicals done, and that's the choice I had chosen for myself. Another thing is, when I work at summer camps, they have totally different rules. So you can still work at summer camps without getting your medicals done, most of them. Don't quote me on that, just double check. If you decide to get medicals done, it can take months. Like, you have to first find an appointment. So when I booked it here for our PR application, I had to wait a month for the first available appointment. Then once it gets done, it processes quite quickly. But I personally chose not to do it for the IEC visa. I've got a video on medicals coming soon, so if you're choosing to do it for your IEC, stay subscribed, put your notifications on. I will have a video on how medicals work for us. You do have to do medicals if you've been in a specific country, so you might not even have that choice, but just be aware of that before you go into the process. Supporting documents, that's the other thing. So in my resource, I've got quite a few listed out, but your police report. My police report came back in 4 days because I chose, I think it's £55 the normal, and I paid £95 for the express. I literally did it like on a Thursday and had it by the Monday or Tuesday. So it wasn't even four full working days. And for me, that was just, £40 extra. It just, for me, a no-brainer. But if you've got time now and you're about to do, and you're in the pool, you can do just the normal process. And I was very blessed that I had all the documents already ready from our spousal sponsorship. So that really did help. But that's why I say to you, if you're in the pool, get all your documents together. So your digital photo, renew your passport as well. That is so important. I had just renewed my passport because it was in my maiden name. So I changed it to my married name before I did the application. I also did the 1 week turnaround with that. I was so impatient. So I did the 1 week turnaround. I've got a TikTok video on that, but I can do a longer video if people want. So that's super important. You might want to get that done while you're in the pool waiting. And just to remember, you've got your POE, that's not the last part of the process. You'll have to purchase your insurance and get the 2,500 Canadian in your account, like save that money up. I am not purchasing insurance right up until literally like a day before we fly, because if I get my spousal sponsorship approved before then, I don't have to just insurance, because I won't be activating my IEC visa, which is such a shame because I've paid for it, and I wish I could just transfer it to somebody, but it's fine. I'd much prefer to just get my spousal sponsorship and have PR status. So that's fine. But yeah, I'm waiting till the last couple of days before we fly out to purchase my insurance. But I will be getting insurance for the full duration of the 2 years, even though I know my PR sponsorship is processing. And to conclude, that's it. So my IEC visa came in 17 days. Really happy that I've managed to get it because it's given me the flexibility. Like now I know that as soon as I enter Canada, I can work. I can pick up a seasonal job. I can pick up a serious job. I can work for myself because I can start a company, which is my plan. I will be registering my company in Canada. I have a bank account and I can take payments for any brand work that I do. So for me, it has been just invaluable. So if you find yourself in a similar situation, the IEC visa could be the way to go. I was on one of the Facebook pages and there was somebody saying that she had moved with her husband, and they were living with her in-laws and things turned sour, and her husband was working for the family and they kicked him off, and he's the only one who can work. She's waiting for her spousal sponsorship, so she's in a bit of a pickle. So I just feel that having the IEC, especially if you're within the age limit and you don't have to pay the extra fees, it's just money well spent. So thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope this has been helpful. I have lots of videos about the IEC process coming up, so please subscribe. I will do a quicker video of my timeline without all the faff, with the timeline and the prices. I'll upload that soon. I'll have a video about the medicals and my biometrics experience. Please give me a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed the video. And guys, 1 month I will be in Canada and I will be taking you everywhere. I will be taking you to explore the whole of Canada. And if you don't know, we are buying an RV within a couple of months of landing, and we will be traveling all around North America. So that is Canada and the United States. And we will be uploading a video weekly minimum of all the places that we're visiting. And all the process on how to buy an RV and all those things, buying a car, exchanging licenses, all those things I've got planned coming for you. So thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.